how to do a basic sound check using the Carvin XB800L. Part 1, we're going to deal with volume. All the volume knobs are in red here, and then you also have the main volume. Now what I like to do is start with the main all the way turned down, and same thing, everything turned down to 0 to avoid any potential feedback. Then what I'll do is I will turn the main up to about 5, which leaves plenty of headroom to go louder or softer. And then whatever channel I'm checking, for our purposes, we're just using channel 1 right now, I would have somebody check on the microphone, and while they're saying check, 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 I would slowly turn this up just to kind of gauge where the volume is, make sure there's no feedback happening. So I'm going to go check, check, check. That's not very loud, so I'm going to turn that up. Check, 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 check. That's better. We want to make sure, especially with the powered speakers, that this button is not pushed in. So right now, check, 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 we're getting sound, yay. If I push this button in, all of a sudden I'm not getting sound. That is something to keep in mind. Now there's this little button here. It says plus 20 dB. Now if we need more volume, we're turning up quite a bit and we're just not getting enough volume that we want for the band or whatever, we can hit this. Now I'm going to turn it all the way down, push in the 20 plus dB, slowly turn it up, and you'll kind of hear how much it adds to the volume. Check, check. So you can see we're at about 1, and it added almost what we were at 5 without it pushed in. So it adds quite a bit of volume actually. If you need more volume, again, you can, of everything, you can just turn up the mains. That is the gist for volume. Part 2, I want to deal with the EQ. All the EQ knobs here are in blue. So we have, again, it's the same thing for each channel, not to get confused. There's a lot of knobs, but it's really not that confusing. We have the high, we have the middle, and then we have the low. So this is the microphone with nothing. The EQ is what's called flat. Everything's at 0. Now I'm going to add some bass. Now you can see how much more bassy that is. Now we're going to add some mid. Check, check, check. So that really boosted the vocals because the average vocal range is right around the mid frequencies. Now I'm going to turn that to 0. We will test the highs now. Okay, you can see how that really lets out the high frequencies. That's what the EQ does. It just changes the sound a little bit. For 9 out of 10 times for vocals, what I'll do is I'll keep the highs flat and the mids flat, and then I actually cut the lows. With EQ, it's in mixing, it's kind of it's an art in and of itself. Just some basic live generalizations for vocals. I'm generally going to cut the lows, especially if it's a female, because they're not singing in that range. For the guitar, I might cut the lows a little bit too. If I'm with the bass, I might keep it at 0 and actually dial back the highs, because for a bass, we want the low end. We don't really need the high end so much, and the goal is to kind of accentuate or eliminate frequencies that aren't being used within a certain instrument. Okay, so that's the channel EQs. We also have right here the master EQ for everything, and I generally like to keep that flat, so you can move those up if you want, but I generally keep them at 0. You can kind of see it clicks into place there, and it's at 0. Part 3, let's talk about the monitor. Okay, using this monitor, once again, I'm going to start with the volume all the way at 0, just to make sure we don't get some crazy feedback. I'm going to turn it up just a little bit. For the monitors, we have mon for each channel. That stands for monitor. And what you're going to do is you have the volume monitor here, and then you also have the master monitor of everything that's going through the monitor right there. So again, I'm going to set it about 5. I'm just going to turn this up a little bit, and I would have somebody say check, 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 just to do a sound. Check, check, check. I'm not hearing much, which means I probably have to turn up the speaker. Okay, I'm going to turn up the speaker. Now I'm going to do a check, 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 check. Yep, cool. And that's how you do a sound for the monitor. And you would do that for each instrument on each channel, kind of get the levels right or where you want them. And that's how you do a basic sound check with this mixer.